myself, because Sean Martinelli, who's one of our own ambassadors, who's one of the first people started watching OWN, he has OWN in his dorm here at Syracuse, had DM'd me and said, make sure you wear orange. So I had not one, I had not two, I had 3 orange dresses. And I left them in the hotel room in New York. So all night long I'm like, will they accept me without orange? And you have, so I thank you very much. I knew better than to come in blue. I had the orange, and there you go. Thank you so much for allowing me the privilege of being here for this great day. I want to say thank you to Chancellor Kent Severud, to Carrie Clark. Carrie, it's so great to see you again. To Bob Meyer and John Malone, my great partner at Discovery. David Zaslow, my other great partner at Discovery, who actually came to me with the idea of creating a network. I trust, admire, and respect you and adore you so much. And Pam thinks it's okay. Okay? Thank you all so much. And particularly to the Newhouse family. It's a Newhouse kind of day here. And I came to give the biggest shout out possible to the Newhouse family, to the Newhouse network, because I believe that what you all have done, what the Newhouse family has done, what the Gary family has done, what the Clark family has done, is what we're meant to do as human beings. We're meant to take our lives, do the best we can, be excellent in our lives, and then use what we have been given to impact others. And the impact that you're going to have for generations to come will live on and on and on. And I want to just say, what a glorious thing to do with your time, with your energy, with your money. On behalf of everybody here, thank you for that. Thank you for being the kind of human being. Thank you for your commitment to education, to journalism and media for the past 50 years, from Vanity Fair to Vogue to GQ to Discovery Magazine, all of it. And you know, to be able to break down barriers and to level the playing field and to really help everybody who comes through this school to tell the important stories of our time. That's really what great media is all about. And I know that that is what will happen for generations to come. And I just want to say to all of you students here, you are so lucky. You are so lucky. Like, do you even know how lucky you are? Okay, I'm going to tell you how lucky you are. Okay, and my definition of luck is this: preparation meeting the moment of opportunity. There is no luck unless you're prepared. So just a brief history. I started in broadcasting when I was 16 years old. I entered the Miss Fire Prevention contest. I didn't know that that was going to lead to a broadcasting career. But when I went back to the radio station, which sponsored the Miss Fire Prevention contest, to pick up my prize, the radio DJ asked would I be interested in hearing my voice on tape. He let me record some copy from an AP wire. Because I was such a great reader, fantastic reader as a matter of fact, I was hired at 16 years old, and I just thought, oh, beats my babysitting job. By the time I was 19, sophomore in college, I get a call during my design class for stage design. Mr. Cox was my professor. And I get called out of class by the local television station, CBS affiliate in Nashville. And the news director there had heard me on the radio. So he calls and asking, would I be interested in a job in television? And I said, no, thank you, sir, because I cannot get my classes to arrange around the time that you need me to work in television. So then I went back to class. Mr. Cox says, who was that? And I said, well, it was this guy from CBS, and he said he wanted me to have a job, but I told him I didn't have the time. And Mr. Cox says, that is the reason you go to school, fool, so that CBS can call you. So I started working in television at 19 years old. I had no idea what I was doing. In the Miss Fire Prevention contest, I answered the question of what do you want to be when you grow up? All the other great answers were taken. So I said, I want to be a journalist, to bring truth to the world so that people can see through stories how to best improve their own lives. It was such a fantastic answer. I never before that day. The only reason I thought of it is because I'd seen Barbara Walters on the Today Show earlier that morning. So I stepped into television journalism with this idea about telling the truth. I didn't have the facilities that you have. I didn't have the production room. I didn't have the crisp lit control room. I didn't have behind the scenes training or in front of the camera training. I was just sort of winging it with my bell and how. And so, camera. And so when they asked, when the news director said, do you know how to cut film? I go, oh yeah, sure, I know how to cut film. And went in and begged the editor to show me how. Do you know how to cover stories? Oh yes, I know how to cover stories. And my first city council meeting, I begged the head of the city council to please understand this is my first story. So I was winging my way through it, making $100 a week. I got an offer to come to an Atlanta station, WSB in Atlanta, and they were going to offer me $40,000. Now I'm making $5,200, so $40,000 felt like I have now made it. My boss at the time said to me, you don't know what you don't know. So you need to stay here and craft your skills. You need to stay here and learn and work on yourself in the environment where people care about you. And that was the best advice I got. Now, you are here in an environment where you can craft your skills, where people care about you, where you can hone and define who it is and what you want to do and how you're going to use that skill with great passion to go out into the world. The most important thing, I feel, is being able to operate from the interior of your soul and allow the passion of your heart to lead you to do the good and great work. You know, when I first started in television as a newswoman, I could feel that it wasn't for me. Everybody was telling me that how lucky I was to have this job, and eventually by the time I moved to Baltimore, I was making $22,000 a year, and I was 22, and my father was like, you are never going to make more money than that. Thank God he was wrong. And so I kept the job. I was holding on to that job as a newswoman because I thought, well, I'm never going to make more money than this. And my best friend Gail said, oh my goodness, if you're 30 and you're making 30 and then you're 40 and making 40, you would have made it in the world. So I was holding on to it for the wrong reasons. And then got demoted, literally fired from my position on the evening news and moved into the field of they put me on the talk show because they didn't want to pay out the $22,000 contract. And the moment I did the first talk show, I knew that I had found my space in the world. I was interviewing the Carvel ice cream man about his multi-flavors, but I knew that there was more ahead. So for you all to have the benefit of developing, honing those skills in such a way that when you step out into the world, you already know who you are and what you've been called to do. I think it's the greatest gift. I commend everyone here who has contributed to the innovative way of thinking and being that will allow you to be some of the best journalists, some of the best producers, some of the best creators in the form of television and media the world has ever known. I think most important, it is really necessary to have vision for what you do. One of my favorite stories is Chris Lick, as you know, who was an alumni and is now the great executive producer of CBS Morning News. Chris had the vision to hire my best friend Gail. And I'm not just saying that because she's my best friend. When she called me and said, I got this call from Chris Lick, and Chris wants me to do the morning show with Charlie Rose. And I said, well, that'll never work. I don't know how in the world what makes him think you and Charlie Rose could work? And the fact that he was able to see and to know, to step into a way of doing morning television that nobody had done, because everybody's been trying to fix that show for years, and that he was able to have the vision, I think it's because it's Syracuse, the vision to know that that was the right move. So being able to move through your life with a sense of vision, a sense of purpose, a sense of passion, and love for the stories that you're telling. I think that the world is in great need of knowing the truth and being able to discern what is the truth. And I think that you all are the ones to prepare them to hear it. Again, I thank you to the Newhouse family, to the Gary family, to the Clark family for this extraordinary day. Thank you.